2015, the Auckland Special, and my God, what a crowd. It just gets bigger and bigger. There's a queue outside, so lucky those who were able to make it inside. And I've got to say, every week I'm stunned and very, very thankful that you're able to come along here. Hello to you at home tonight as well. Just moving on a little bit, we've talked about housing briefly, but about the transport. Now, here is a scenario. In fact, first, before I do that, around the panel, how did you get here tonight? You came by bus, Julianne. What about you, David? You came by chopper. What about you, Alfred?
Car.
A car. And what about you, Jacinda?
My Mazda. I was going to carpool.
You were going to carpool. Very, very good. Sorry, David. Seymour, how did you come?
My chopper.
Yeah, very, very good. What about, let's jump into the audience first. How did you get here?
I was going to say, normally it's weird because normally ACT MPs don't remember chopper rides, eh? That's... Oh, yeah. Look, hello, sir. How are you?
I'm good, how are you?
You didn't want to be on TV tonight, but that's all right. Yeah, we'll ask you an easy question. No politics, OK? How did you get here tonight?
We walked.
You walked. Did you walk?
I drove from the school on my placement at.
You drove from the school and then walked a bit?
Okay, cool. Yeah.
And how do you normally get around Auckland?
Drive.
Drive? OK. Does that work for you?
Yeah, I live out of Maraetai, so the public transport's quite bad.
OK, all right. Who got the bus here tonight? OK, over here. Can you follow me, camera? Good, OK. Hello, sir. In the darkness. Where did you get the bus from?
I got the bus from Epsom, actually.
Okay, yeah. See, these things do exist. Buses from Epsom. It's not. You could have chopper pulled with David there.
Oh well, I suppose I could have, but my area's part of Epsom not quite so conducive for choppers. I suppose too many trees.
Do you normally bus around?
Yes.
Okay, and do you find it? I mean, people in Wellington swear by the bus. In Auckland, not so much. But you find it's a good service. You're not.
Inner city Auckland, especially around Epsom and that area, Remuera and Newmarket, very good for buses. That's actually why I live there.
Hands up, just very quick wide shot, please, cameras. Hands up if you drove to work or school or whatever today. Keep your hands up if you're the only one in the car. Yeah, there's your problem, mate. There's your problem. Wallace?
I want to talk about a lot of this, folks, because it's kind of tied to housing, isn't it? And that's the fact of the matter is, if you live out a bit, you can't afford certain houses. And there's an idea. The CEO of Main Freight, one of our biggest companies, says we need a fast train from Hamilton to Whangarei, and then you can live outside of Auckland. You get the cheaper houses in Hamilton. And I actually thought that wasn't a bad idea. I wanted to put it to you, David Seymour. What do you think about a fast train? Put the money into a Kiwi Rail or a fast train from Hamilton to Whangarei, yes or no?
Oh, I don't know if anyone's asked him how he gets to work, but as I understand it, Main Freight's head office is actually out by the airport, and that actually tells you something. 17% of people work in the CBD. So the idea you're going to have a train that takes a bunch of people from one point to another, that's not the reality for Aucklanders. You're not getting my point. You're getting
that's
not the reality for Aucklanders.
We can open up the whole cusp of Hamilton houses, which are about $310,000, $330,000.
I understand what you're saying, but I've got your point. Your point is that a whole bunch of people are going to go from one centre to another by a train. And the reality is, once you get to downtown Auckland, there's a whole lot of other places you want to go to, and that's
Julianne,
why most people prefer to drive.
Does this make sense?
Yeah, of course it makes sense. If you provide the transport options, people will use it, and then it'll give them more housing options. And that's what happens in every other city in the world. I don't know why we have to try to pretend that we're different. There was an economist here in Auckland yesterday who was talking about what's happening worldwide, but particularly in Australia, and this is happening in New Zealand too. More than half of all the new job growth has been in CBDs. And that's not because of any government policy, that's just where the new job growth is.
Imagine this. Why can't we do this, Alfred? Why? It just seems so simple to me where you put a fast track in, okay, billions of dollars, but you could open up that stock of housing in another city. An hour to Hamilton fast train or 30 minutes. What do you think?
Well, Wallace, the question is that New Zealand and Auckland in particular is a car city. The average...
No, but does it have to be? Does it have to be? You've got... hang on. You've got cities, major hubs like South Korea, who are now ripping up their motorways and putting in urban gardens, the rivers. That's happening right now.
But the truth is that's good for the Greens and others to talk about. But the reality is, the reason why we're investing in the motorways, most of Auckland travel on cars. That's the reality of it. So there's a combination of two things. Public transport and the roadways are much needed.
Alfred, this is a total false economy. People use cars because there aren't public transport options. You build it. If you build it, they will come. 22% increase in rail use we have seen
from 1%
in
to
Auckland
1.2.
alone. The growth is massive. And Wallace, the other issue is that
The reason that people aren't using public transport, this government has not built one new piece of public transport infrastructure. You've delivered on Labor's promises, not one new piece.
Hang on,
not one.
we are the Los Angeles of the South Pacific. We love our cars. You see on the transit, you see one car, one person. That's part of our DNA. That's what makes Auckland, Jacinda.
Well, let's
Surely.
give people choice. Give people choices. It's increasingly...
We've got choices already. We have public transport already. Some people take them. Some people prefer cars.
When they talk
David
about...
Seymour.
Look, I think Alfred and I are the only ones up here that represent an actual electorate. And when you go and knock on people's doors and see what they're up to, they're not just going from one point to another. Well, they're not just going from home to work to home to work. They've got their groceries, they've got their kids' sports practice, they're going to visit family, they've got to go to work at some point. They've got a whole lot of multi-point destinations, and for that, cars are far more practical. That's why people are doing it.
I'm sure they're loving the congestion, David. They're loving the congestion.
Well, hang on, they're loving the congestion for now. They're loving it, but Big Alice is on her way back. That tunnel around Waterview, the Western Ring Route is coming through. And I tell you what, guaranteed, Jacinda will travel through their ring route, so will Julianne Genter, and they'll appreciate the fact that it's making a difference to our transport.
All right, I've got to have a final response from that from Julianne.
Look, it's about where
You
the
will
next
travel
trip
through that
is.
tunnel.
It's about where the next trip is. And the billions of dollars they're putting on motorways are not going to affect 99% of people's current car trips. But every new person who's able to take the train or take the bus frees up the existing roads for those who need to get around. So this is about giving people choice.
Okay, that's enough. I want to get your thoughts on this. At Backbenchers TV, we are back with the refugee crisis. Stay with us.